Welcome back, adventurers, to episode 16 of D20 Theater.
Ooh.
Before we get started, another word from our sponsor, that's Dice Dungeons. Now, Dice Dungeons, they make some amazing metal dice and a couple other products. The metal dice, we actually have a giveaway going on for right now. These Radiant Wildfire dice here. They're absolutely gorgeous. Red metal dice with the white numbering on them. Absolutely beautiful. They roll really well. I've been using a set of their I can't even remember the color I have, but they're sort of this onyx-looking color with light blue on them. They are absolutely great rolling. Fun to roll, that weight of metal hitting the table.
It is really cool.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Another product they make is these really cool cloth battle maps. They're sort of a dungeon on a bandana. A lot of fun. They're these little, I don't know, bandanas, and they have a battle map on them. I don't know what else there is to say about them. But they're really cool. Check out their website. It'll be down in the doobly-doo when this gets posted on YouTube. In addition, remember, if you like, share, and subscribe, episode 15 of D20 Theater, once it's on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe on Instagram or Facebook, and you will be entered to win that set of red metal dice that we just showed you a moment
And they
ago.
come in this really cool case.
They do. They have a cool metal tin with foam padding on the inside to keep them safe.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
All right, well then, let's begin. We've just slaughtered the guards in this zone of silence in the hallway. You can hear sounds of revelry from the next room.
I kind of want to check out the other rooms that are right here while we still have the silence up. The rooms that are silenced.
All right, so which door do you want to do first?
Is there a door that leads directly into that big room?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And what number is that? 19?
Yeah, that's just.
Kicking in the door.
Yeah, I can if I want. It's
Why not?
gonna be nice and quiet.
Anybody's in there is already alerted that something's weird.
Fair.
Well, or they're
Because
asleep, in
silence.
which case it won't matter if I kick it open.
That's a big
I
deal.
can
Alright.
stand here kicking on it for 2 minutes.
So you kick open the door and you see a huge four-poster bed covered in thick blankets and feathered pillows dominating the eastern half of the palatial sleeping chamber. A thick rug of crimson and gold with ravens in flight running along its tasseled edges covers the floor in the center of the room. A massive fireplace of gold-flecked black marble protrudes from the northern wall, banked coals perfectly warming the chamber. Paintings depicting various members of the Vindicon family adorn the walls between narrow wood-shuttered arrow slits. A narrow table along the southeast wall holds additional blankets and a hooded lantern.
Alright, but nobody's here.
Nobody's here.
Cool. Alright, easy enough. And then there's those 2 little offshoot rooms that I think
Look
we
like
can check because
closets.
they're pretty well silenced as well.
Okay.
They're 12 and... Wait, I'm going to make sure.
I'm assuming they're 20 and 21.
20 and
There you go.
21.
All right. Which one do you want to check first?
20, because that's
Alright.
first.
So swinging open the door, the wide closet is choked with expensive-looking clothing, much of it trimmed in fur or embroidered with gold piping.
Alright, but nobody's here.
Nobody's here.
I would like to grab one of those coats
All right, you do.
and wear it.
As a blight still.
No, is there a way that it can... So all the items I have conform... into
Right, but
one.
it has to be when you shift.
Can someone hold on to this for...
I will, dude. I'll put it on,
All right.
but I'll give it back to you.
So,
how did that go?
She will put it.
Put it on. Hashtag put it on.
Alright.
All right.
Hashtag sheet 20 theater.
She's 20 theater.
She 20 theater. Oh, God.
All right. What next?
Alright, then
Is it
21.
All right. In this room, a long copper tub sits atop a white and gold rug. A brazier and buckets sit in one corner, with a stool and shelves full of towels, soap, and scrub brushes occupying the other.
But there's somebody in the tub?
Nobody in the tub.
Excellent.
Literally like teenage Groot's going over the soap.
We're going into 17, I guess.
Guys, I'm role playing, okay?
It's good. I mean, I'm guessing that's sort of our option left. We could try 16
we
if
can
we
open
want.
18.
Oh, 18 is right there. Sure, why not?
In silence.
All right. A balcony surrounded by a decorative railing.
Let's open the door, not kick. That was like
Well, you can
That's it.
see the balcony.
That's all
You
it
can
is.
see the balcony sort of from the window in the other room, but as you head to the doors to open the balcony, it seems locked.
Was there anybody on the balcony, did it look like, from where we could see out the window?
It did not look like there was anyone on there.
It should be locked from this side, right?
Well, I mean, you can see that there's actually a locking mechanism on this side that you can.
Oh, so we can just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
All
I'll
right.
open it.
Cool. Opening it up, you walk through and you can see that it
It's
sort of
okay.
overlooks the town.
Cool. All right, so that's good. So I will close it and lock it back so it doesn't provide an easy
Okay.
run off
Escape.
and jump away. Yeah.
It may have a good.
The sounds of revelry
Oh,
seem to
for
have
us?
stopped
Oh, so
as you
I should-
re-enter.
The what?
What?
The sounds of
revelry?
revelry seems to have stopped,
So you think I should leave it unlocked for us to be able to run away? Okay.
and you hear some movement in that room
I'm going to.
as their voices seem to have lowered and gotten more serious.
Can we still hear what they're saying? Roll
You
perception.
cannot at the moment.
Okay.
I really
They
open
think it's
the door.
weird that it's
Yeah.
gotten this quiet out here. I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're gonna roll perception, or you're gonna open the door.
I'm gonna open the door and let
I'm
loose
gonna-
a needle.
I'm gonna
As
stand
I
right
open.
behind him. And you're just gonna let.
At the
loose
first thing you
first
see?
thing you
First
see?
thing I see.
All right.
First creature you see.
First
Well-
enemy.
Are we where
I
we are?
see.
Are we where we are right now?
Yeah, you are where you are.
Okay.
Roll for initiative.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'm still gonna keep that though.
11.
All right. Oh, me too.
Oh, I got
It's a
5.
It was all right. Like, I don't know why I'm playing with it. It was actually okay. Because the first one was cocked, but the second one was pretty good. Don't do that. It wasn't a roll, but don't do that. Yeah, that was it. Good job.
Cole baby.
It's the first decent initiative one I've had.
Why do you gotta say that? Why do you gotta make a face like that?
right.
Woo, baby! There aren't that many squares in there. There can't be that many people.
There's a couple guys that are just
There
like
aren't that many
hanging on to each
squares.
other.
There's no possible way.
So as
It's actually
you
nice.
you open the door, the first thing you notice is sitting directly
Oh,
across
as it
from
goes,
you
I forgot
there's a
about
man.
the wall, the dog.
is a man in sort of a purple and black trimmed robe over a white tunic.
I'm gonna show that.
Does he
These are
match
really well painted.
any physical description that
Kobe
we've had of the
Bryant.
Baron?
Yeah, I did think that.
Does
He
he
looks
match?
exactly like the Baron.
There we go.
You can also see the man you recognize from the square yesterday when they announced the
Right,
catapults.
That's
That's
the
Guard Captain Blackwell, and there look like 3 more sergeants of the watch
Oh crap.
and 2 dogs on the floor. And as they stand, they turn, and their eyes glow with the same red fire as the creature from
No.
upstairs.
Soul sounds.
What did you call him?
He was making a divinity reference. Osborne, what'd you get?
I got a soft 20.
All right, esteem.
11.
UI.
11. Right, we got the same roll.
Yeah, she can go first.
Thaddeus.
17.
It auto sorts.
Oh yeah, it'll do that.
All right, so as you open the door, you throw your needle forward. What'd you roll?
Oh my goodness. That's a 1, but I'm gonna use luck. That's another one.
Okay. All right. You throw your needle forward, and as it comes towards the Baron, he stands and steps out of the way, and it slams into the wall behind him. He says, "Intruders here." Very well. Blackwell. Deal with them.
Uh-oh.
And that's going to put us at Osborne.
Oh, shoot. I thought you were about to say, and that's the end of the episode. I was like, what?
We just
I
got
was
back.
literally like, wait, what?
No, but this might be the end of our adventure. All right.
Oh.
Osborne.
Excuse me?
They're apparently pretty tough.
Alright. How does a... Oh, crap. 11 treat you?
11 against 2.
Let's say a hellhound.
I won't do it. All right.
So I open the door, let loose a needle, and I see the hellhound let one out, but it misses.
All right, so the hellhounds are going to come running out of the room. One of them is going to place itself... one will be just there, yeah. And then one will be on the other side. In fact, let's have them both start heading the other direction. As soon as they get out there, they're going to start heading towards UI and Esteem.
So I can opportunity
You
attack
can.
one of them? Cool.
They have a speed,
can
by the way,
opportunity
of
attack.
50.
Yeah,
Let them
They'll
go.
get where they want to go.
Oh.
All right.
Because they're hellhounds.
They're hellhounds, yeah.
So where do they want to go
Okay.
then?
Uh,
They wanna
One
go
to
on us?
Esteem and one to UI.
16?
Right there. Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
16?
Yeah.
16. Those will both hit.
I'm glad that.
Oh,
they
we...
both hit.
Are you
we get
attacking
2
different ones or the
opportunity
same?
attacks.
No, no,
No,
'cause
they won't.
reaction
Oh.
is just one. 8 damage.
The same one or different ones?
I'm
Say
gonna
it did the
yeah,
same.
same one.
Okay.
I
Die
did
bracket.
8 damage.
Nice. All right.
So as it goes by, I just.
Well, we just did the same thing. Same to hit, same damage. With a spear
really?
and a pokey thing. Yeah.
Must suck for you, right?
All right.
I'm fine.
So, as the Hellhounds go running forward, each of them in tandem leaps up in the air, one to Esteem and one to UI. So the
That's
one,
a lot of dice.
the one on Esteem got a 20 to hit,
Alright.
and that's going to be 7 piercing
Not that bad.
and 11 fire
Yeah,
damage.
11
Wait
fire. Wait for the fire. 7 and 11.
Wish I had my.
UI,
That's half my hit points.
that's going to be an 11 to hit as that one leaps up at you.
That must be the one that we poked.
All right, you definitely step aside and swing an axe under it, lifting it a bit off the ground with a swing of your axe, and that puts us to Thaddeus.
I'm actually going to. Yeah. I'm going to use my action. I'm moving towards the door to close it as my
Okay.
object interaction. But at the last moment before I close it, then from my belt, I grab a vial and fling it as my action. I'm throwing
Okay.
a potion.
A fairy fire?
Uh-huh.
All right.
In the middle of the room. So have them all make a dex save with
Everybody.
whatever his DC is.
13.
Is it just 13? We're level 5. You have a +3. Your proficiency is +3.
Remember, I'm a cleric.
Yeah, but it still runs off wisdom.
Yeah, my
You're-
wisdom's +3, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
It's
sorry,
14.
14.
Okay. Okay. So all 3 of the watch captains failed.
Yay.
The other 2 passed.
They are now glowing.
That's fine. That's still better. And so then I'm just gonna. Did the doors open out towards us, or in towards? The,
Internal doors always open into the room.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. Right, but I did close it, and then I'm gonna move back towards these guys to go help them out. Also putting me conveniently into the area of silence.
Fair enough.
So that if Baron von Castaspell wants to come in here, he's gonna have a bad time.
Fair enough. All right. That's gonna put us at UI.
Good.
Baron von Castaspell.
All right.
Old family name.
Let's see if I hit. Ooh. Oh, of course, every time I roll with my good weapon, it doesn't hit. That's 15. 17 plus 6.
23.
With my first axe into the dog's face, which does 10 damage.
Ooh, 10 damage.
Then I try to swing in with my beautiful magic weapon, and unfortunately, the dog barks at me, and I get a little frightened, and I don't do it. But I do reach around and pull out my axe for 21 to hit,
21 hit.
which does 7 damage as I rip it out of its face.
All right, cool. You swing the axe out of its face, and as you swing the axe that's sort of glowing with an unnatural heat towards the dog, it doesn't even flinch at the flame.
Oh yeah. That is your fiery weapon. So
All right,
it's just
Esteem.
delicious.
I'm gonna reach out to backhand shocking grasp this dog in front of me.
Away with you,
Yeah. See if
bad dog.
Ugh, that's an 11, so definitely not.
Will not do it. No.
In which case, I am just standing there.
What? You know you have a familiar, yeah?
Yep.
You know it can do the help action, yeah?
I don't.
Within
I
5
think I have
feet.
to use an action to command.
Yeah,
don't
you
I?
have the action
No,
command.
no, it has its own turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it can
You
help
get
you do
advantage
this
if
whole
it's-
time.
That's how Barnaby always has advantage.
Oh, so you have
That's
advantage
handy.
on that hit.
Well, I didn't say to
Yeah.
do that.
But now you can
No.
give
Now
someone
you
else
know.
advantage.
Yeah.
You could do that now. You could grant advantage on the next. You just pick a target. You can-
Well, I'm gonna pick
It
that.
has to be within
Okay,
5
So
feet.
the next
Alright,
attack
cool.
against that guy has advantage.
All right. So, you can hear the slamming of a door. And footsteps.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Oh, right.
How many doors can you open in this room?
You're good point. He has to take his action to open the second.
Oh, good. So I'm still getting railed.
All right, so that one will go there.
But only by one guy.
This one is going to swing open the door there.
He just sees them
The
doing
robot's
like,
like,
yeah.
All right. So Osborne, the door flies open in front of you, and as it does so, you can see this this watch sergeant there holding a pike that's leveled at you, and in fact, I guess he's one back. So push him one back, and he plunges that pike forward. It's going to be a
Don't you have
crit
another third level? Don't you have another third level?
I use 30
For-
Bolt lightning bolt.
18 piercing damage. Yeah.
He hits the twig blight, and as he pulls the pike out, it like pulls the bark off me.
Oh.
Oh man.
How much
It
HP
starts
does the
shifting
twig
and
have?
popping back into place.
Well, I rolled a 17 on that one.
Oh.
One of the
So it really
oh, I'm
does
sorry.
damage.
He then, as he's holding that, he shakes it off and he swings it back up using the tip of the pike as a cutting edge, hitting again. That's going to be a 13 to hit,
No.
or I'm sorry, 23 to hit.
I was
I'm-
back to 17 now.
Yeah, I was reading 18 and plus 5 at the same time, and that's going to deal 5 piercing
Oh,
damage.
okay. You're alright.
All right, the one over there on his team that didn't use his action already, as he leaps out of the door, he sort of jumps up into the air, plunging his pike downwards for a 21 to hit.
Well,
Just a bit of product placement. These are the metal dice that we're giving away that I'm rolling right
Now
now.
he's critting us.
And
with-
that's going to be 5 piercing damage. He then just twists
still
and
up?
drives deeper for a 24 to hit for 10 piercing damage.
You still up?
This might be it, guys.
How you doing?
All right, Blackwell there comes running towards the door with his mace raised, and he's head straight toward Oz.
No, he's not.
Oh, he is.
No.
Oh, he is.
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he can't. Woo!
No, it's not that.
Damn.
All right. So he comes running forward and he swings his mace up, and he says, "Dread assassins, you face your doom!" And he swings this mace in. That's the wrong damage die for mace. The first one swings straight over your head. He's not used to fighting halflings.
Thank goodness.
And in the second, he comes crashing down, and you sort of roll out of the way.
Hey, you're in the silent.
Yeah.
All right.
So
You
it
can
comes crashing
see.
down.
You can see the Baron now, standing there, and he sort of holds up a hand, and he starts chanting something in a language you don't recognize. Atu melekanamen vatu atu matu melekanamen, and he takes his dagger and he carves a circle in the table, and as he does so, he takes his hand and places it down and plunges the dagger between two of his fingers. Slicing just barely in between those fingers, and you can see blood sort of drip out and fill this circle that he's just carved.
That's really cool.
And suddenly, the whole circle starts to just smoke.
That's not cool.
And the guy right there in front of you,
Yeah.
his eyes go white, and for a moment, they're just white before they go red with flame.
Crap.
Replace that model with this one.
Crap.
Which one? Oh, the
No, that one.
The
This
table,
one.
that one.
Yep.
oh boy, yeah.
He's still fairy fired it, though, right?
He's still very fired.
Okay, that's good. For all the good it's gonna do us.
All right, Osborne.
Crap.
You want to just let's just see
I'm
how
gonna-
scary.
Yeah, I
he
was
is.
just gonna say he doesn't look very fun to play with right now. Come on, let's focus.
None of us are excited about it.
It's not my cup of tea.
Would I get attack of opportunity if I closed the door?
No.
I'm closing the crap
Oh,
out of that
interesting.
door.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your object interaction, is all. And so, cool.
You could
Do
attack
that.
first and then close it.
You could if you wanted. Well, he's currently in halfling form, and he's in an area of silence, so no spellcasting.
I think this may be the time for Mysterious Stranger to come to our aid.
I reckon. I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
I don't have one.
Could it be the guy who came to God?
No, that's not
I don't think
mysterious.
so.
That's a little mysterious.
Nah, Colby, give us a cameo. Give
I
us
got
something
something.
cool.
Don't worry. All right. Cool.
I'm playing a card.
So the
Oh.
card that Nick just played, by the way, was Mysterious Stranger. A mysterious individual comes to your aid, only to leave as abruptly as he came.
Sam's got one too.
All right, and Osborne, it is your turn.
I'm changing the terrain.
Changing the terrain. Okay.
Yes, sir. I
He
just
doesn't know
can't
what that card
currently
is.
find that card. Then I'm not going to do that. I'm going to close the door.
All right.
Oh, it's right there, dude. No. Keep.
What?
Yeah.
Ah! I would like.
That was comical.
Change of scenery.
That was kinda comical.
All right, this card is Change of Scenery. Use this card during a combat encounter. The environment and/or terrain of the combat changes dramatically at the DM's discretion. So,
Can I?
suddenly, you hear a big crash. It's as though something powerful, and this is before you close the door?
Before
Yeah.
All right. So, you can see a huge boulder slam into the side of this wall here. Can I have the markers?
Yes, sir.
Who's here?
Haley has the black one.
Where's the black marker? It looks like the bombardment of the city has begun.
Oh, cool! Yeah!
They coordinated their attacks with ours. How convenient.
Yeah, well done, guys.
So you can see that rubble has slipped down into the courtyard below.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
She is both alarmed and
Yeah.
ill.
Oh, no.
As this
still
entire
alarmed.
wall is blown apart, the Baron goes sliding down, rolling across the ground
Oh, damage.
until
Takes
he
damage.
hits the ground on the bottom, and he will take a little bit of damage. It won't be much.
Will he lose concentration on whatever he did to that guy?
No, he will not.
Oh,
Not this time.
It's not a concentration.
No, it is a concentration. He just didn't lose it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. He hits the ground, and Osborne, you can see him just sort of standing himself back up and looking up at you. All right.
And so, the wall exploded. I still have my
Yeah,
whole
you turn the whole turn.
The wall exploded. I go.
Surprise!
Closes the door.
Hold on. The cats just ruined something. Let me
Wow.
go see what they ruined.
Yeah. Jeez.
Cats are making a mess.
Oh, that wasn't silenced.
You're silent.
I was gonna thorn whip it with this door.
Mm.
Thorn whip the door with the other door.
Oh, that would have been cool. Does Thorn have a verbal component?
It does.
Oh,
Look.
yeah. What'd they do?
They did.
Okay.
Were they in the bedroom?
Guess
No.
it wasn't that important.
Yes, you can also see that boulder that impacted is wrapped in some sort of wrappings, and it's got flames licking off of it.
Jeez.
So you can see that fire is starting to spread in that area as well.
Close the door. I ran 20 feet away. I'm gonna thorn whip this hellhound right in front
All
of me.
right.
You got advantage.
I do. Thank goodness.
There you
That's
go.
a nat 19 on the die.
All right.
Roll that 2d6.
It's 2d6.
You are level 5.
Why would
Character
that
level
matter?
5. Cantrips level up.
They
So,
do?
yeah, it's now at
Yeah.
2d6.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
5 damage.
I didn't know.
Nice. Nice on the hellhound there?
This hellhound in front of a steam.
Okay, cool. Cool. Works for me. Okay, let me do that real quick.
I finally just now copied my plant list, even though I thought I did that forever ago.
All right. So, that's going to put us at Osborne. Oh, Osborne just finished, so the hellhound just took the 5 damage. All right, so that hellhound, the one that is fighting Esteem there, as it sort of barks at you, it's been howling, and it just tried to bite down on you. It's going to whip around now, and as it does so, it unleashes
Oh, dear.
a flaming blast.
Oh, boy.
Why?
Hitting all 3 of them. I need you guys to make me dex saves.
Come on, don't suck.
Yeah.
Nope.
DC is 12.
Guy got it.
I feel
Oh, I
that
think I
miserably.
totally got
You
it.
have
then.
proficiency then. Yeah.
I'm gonna be higher than that.
I failed that miserably.
And, raise your hand if you failed.
15.
You passed. All right, so that's going to be 14 fire damage on a fail, 7 if you pass. Yeah, the roll was really sad.
Ooh, that's my temp HP.
Yeah, that was
Bye-bye.
basically mostly my temp HP too at the start of combat.
Bye-bye.
Oh, let me do this.
Still good, yo.
Still good, yo.
I just gotta kill another dude now. For 7.
You said 14, right?
You still up?
All right.
Heal yourself, Druid.
Life is about to save our butts.
Oh, yeah, it'll get him too.
So,
It's just enough
the
to
second
do
hound there is going to attempt to chomp down onto... Oh, yeah, we'll go Thaddeus. We'll go Thaddeus. And as he bites towards you, he clamps down on your arm, but you manage to flex so that none of his canines actually pierce
Yeah.
you. You're just sort of holding him
Now
in
watch
this
me
clamp.
flex. Watch me flex.
And Thaddeus, it's your turn.
All right. So I've got him now. But I kind of.
You hear a door slam from the level below as you hear fighting and combat going on down there.
Oh!
I'm gonna sort this one that I've got. I just kind of like knock it out of the way, and I'm gonna move forward, ignoring these hellhounds. The heck with them. They can make opportunity attacks.
Okay. Both of them will.
That's
So the
fine.
first, and in fact, all right, the first got a 16.
Yes, because I have no.
So that's going to deal
I can't shield.
8 piercing and 6 fire.
Okay.
The second's also going to get you, and that's going to deal 10 piercing and 9 fire.
Ooh, was that a smart idea?
Yeah, their opportunity attacks hurt.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It's okay. I'm not down. Oh no, that's not right. I was doing my health wrong. And I'm gonna move in. These two guys are both fairy fire.
All right.
And so I'm hitting at the first one at advantage. Come on. Not quite a crit. But that's okay. So first guy. First guy takes 5 damage. Big old hairy deal.
Oh, okay.
Big old hairy deal. 5 damage. So woof.
All right.
He's not looking like that really did much, is he?
Not really. Not really.
Swinging again. Come on, Thaddeus. Crit! No. And I'm just gonna go ahead and smite him.
Okay.
Excuse me. This can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum.
Yes.
So
Which is what
they
I
can
said.
be under half or above half. And I can
No.
No.
No more than half.
Not by half of its hit point. 2.
Right.
There we go. 18, 22 damage on the second hit with a smite.
22
And
damage.
so the first hit, he just kind of, I
Get
imagine,
your camera
laughs it
ready and
off.
bring it over here.
Is he just kind of like, and just not
Okay.
care.
No, your camera.
Laugh this one off then. And the second one, then, as I bring my spear back, it begins to burn with light, and I slam it forward again. I imagine that one's not so funny.
You do? Okay, cool. All right, nice. You need that.
I need it.
All right. So, UI.
What?
Got something cool, do you?
Yeah.
Or someone cool.
Okay. Haley is confused. But whatever. I'm gonna hit this guy in front of me.
The
Alright.
wolf, the doggo.
Yeah, hit that doggo. Oh, I'm gonna miss that doggo a bunch of times. 10,
Man, Doug, she was
Alright.
like you. Oh, sorry.
12,
It's true, Doug rolls so bad.
and then the one that, would have been great. I got snake eyes on.
Oh, man.
This one is a, it's 12 plus 6, whatever that is.
18. That one will hit.
Yeah, except one of it is axe damage, and then the other one is
It's
fire
and it
damage.
doesn't care about
So you-
fire.
So I did,
Well, plus your dex mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 4.
Okay.
So 5
Five.
damage.
5 damage. Okay, that's still something.
Alright.
We've been beaten on.
All right, yeah, you take your
These
axe and you
guys.
cleave into it. The fire sort of erupts for a moment, but it doesn't seem to even harm this creature.
Is that guard captain that I smacked a couple of times? Is he looking rough?
Not really.
Bummer.
Not yet.
What's your health at?
Hitting a smite. Man.
All right, Esteem.
No, what's it at though?
I'm gonna disengage. It's at very, very, very low.
You-
Put yourself right there.
I'm gonna I was gonna get further away from
You
danger.
have to be in my line of sight.
Oh shucks. All right, yeah, I was gonna go out of your line of sight. Then I will huddle in the corner.
You gonna take those opportunity attacks?
I
Oh, you
disengaged.
disengaged. Okay, I
that's
didn't
my
hear that
action.
part.
So I'm just hiding behind the other paladin.
All right,
now.
the guard captain swings open the door there, and he's gonna head straight for Osborne.
This
The
one?
captain.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. So Blackwell Osborne, he comes walking towards you, and he says, "I wasn't done with you."
He can't hear him though.
Okay, well he says,
Well, honestly, the concentration's probably broken.
What?
Let's see.
"Yeah, let's find out."
Cut. No, it's still up.
All right.
Is it 15?
Yeah.
16? So.
And he raises his mace, and he brings it down towards
I
you.
put my shield up.
Oh, that's this one. Okay. That's going to be a 17 to hit,
Right on the money.
and that's going to deal 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
All right, and then he crashes it back down again, and that's going to be another 17, and that's going to be. You look very scared by this. 10 bludgeoning damage.
I use a card. Before that second
Alright,
blow lands,
so-
I go, not yet, priest! On your feet!
He can see you starting to look weak,
Lower
and for
me
a
in.
moment, you feel a surge of adrenaline. You can spend a hit die to regain HP.
Oh, that's so cool.
Just do it.
I got it!
All right.
6!
Plus your con mod.
Plus con!
So you get 8
8.
health back.
All right, that puts us at the watch sergeants. The watch sergeants over here next to Thaddeus. I think currently both are going to strike at Thaddeus since he's the target there. So the first thrusts his pike forward, and that's going to easily, you just sort of bat it aside with your shield. As he takes it again, plunging forward with your spear, you twist, plunging his pike down towards the ground. The second guy, using that as an opening, strikes forward, and he probably won't. He has an 11?
No.
All right, cool. And then swings in the butt for the crit, smacking aside the side of your cheek, and that's going to be 17 bludgeoning damage for that one. All right. The other one comes walking out of the room. He seems larger than before, and he's dropped his weapons. He seems you can actually from this distance see his veins pulsing as he comes closer and closer. He currently can't really reach. I guess he could move. Yeah, he's gonna grab the Hellhound right there, and he's gonna grab it by the tail and pull it back. And it only had a couple HP left anyway, literally 2. So he grabs it and he slams it back against the ground. As it's killed, it goes sort of rolling across the floor, and the light fades from its eyes. And he steps up towards UI.
That's uncalled for, mister.
Yeah.
In character.
Don't do that.
All right, and as he does so, he heads right up towards you, and he grabs onto you by the throat, and he starts to lift you. And that's going to be...
It's a 16.
Yeah, he's going to hit you then. And that's going to be 11 slashing damage as his claws just squeeze against your throat, and you need to make a con save.
I'm not good at those. 12.
12. Through the broken window, you hear buzzing as a swarm of locusts just sort of comes through. Not like a full, but one after the other until they sort of coalesce into a swarm that go into your throat as you're gasping for air. You are poisoned for 1 round.
Oh dang.
What is that?
He then,
Expand on like everything.
as he draws you closer, his jaw unhinges much wider like a snake's. And as it does so, he clamps down onto your face. And that's
Not
gonna
my face.
that's gonna be a 19 to hit.
Oh, I'm gonna go down. Dude.
You're down.
Oh, probably.
All right. So that's so far. That's so that's gonna be 12 piercing damage.
Down.
All right.
Oh no.
You're right.
Good. So it's even.
And as you're down, he sort of guides you down to the ground, and you can see he's like taking a claw as though he's about to plunge down into her heart. That's gonna put us then at the Baron.
Uh-oh.
Who's
The
way
Baron
over there?
stands, dusting himself off, and he's gonna start just slowly striding back up. He can get back into the room
That's about
basically,
it. Okay.
and then that's where he'll stop this turn. But as that happens, you can't see this. But suddenly, as the Baron's walking, he's uttering some incantation, and as he does so, he sort of splits off into several pieces.
Oh, good. Yay, mirror image.
Oh,
Great.
that's like-
Great.
All right. Suddenly, you hear, and you hear the tumbling of chainmail down the stairs. You see a form appear at the top of the stairs, a knight in shining armor. And as he stands next to you, he says, "I am Sir Eldon Grimrunt of Thrimakath. I have heard there are traitors here in this keep, and I will root them out."
I'm down.
Nick, you can control Sir Eldon Grimrunt.
What?
And okay.
That's
Wolf's
where-
character from our last
He
campaign.
sees this
He's
fella
big
in
and
front of
bad.
him, shining. So great swording on that dude.
Oh,
With the 9 life
thanks,
stealer.
Oh yeah, I forgot he has that.
We've got about
So
6 of them.
that's a 26 to hit on that.
All right.
For 17 slashing damage.
All right.
Why don't we tack first level smite onto that?
All right.
Look at things.
Ten radiant
Just,
damage.
All right. And as you do so, you take the sword and you slash across his back, and this holy light just it erupts from his back, and he spins, dropping to the ground, his armor cloven apart.
Where is the Baron?
In the next room. He's got some sort of strange sorcery about him.
Looks like we'll need through these first then. And he'll attack the next
The
one.
light be
All
praised.
That's 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
I'm glad to have Aeldon back on the
Well,
team.
he's a great weapon master, so he doesn't roll the great
That's
weapon
true.
fighting style. That's another 17 slashing damage.
All right.
I'll tack on a second level smite on this one.
All right.
Holy crap.
Oh, that's some bad smite. 7 radiant damage.
All right.
And
For
then
a
he will.
second level smite.
So taking your sword, you bat his pike aside and slash across his chest. He goes stumbling backwards, weakly grabbing at his pike, ready to attack against
He'll
you.
look around and see the one down and
Yeah.
a wizard hiding in the corner. You're not through yet. Stand up.
Yeah.
So you get a D6. You get a D6.
What does this
I
do?
get a D6. You get a D6.
We all get D6s.
You roll a D6 plus his charisma modifier, which is 2.
One.
You're still up.
So you get 3 HP, as long as you're below half health.
So what happens?
So you get hit
gain
points.
that much.
D6 plus
The-
2
the
HP.
Steam's only getting 4 hit points out of that.
All right.
I have 3.
And that puts us at Osborne.
I got 8.
What's his team at?
That was a good use of a card.
Very.
Yeah.
The Steam is at 7.
Yeah, this was going to be rough otherwise.
Just below half.
Osborne is going to release this dust of mushrooms into the air. Using his channel divinity, he's going to grant Esteem how much to get you to have.
More than you got.
Yeah, I got 25.
Oh, never mind. I would get to half with 11.
I'm going to give you 11, give you the rest.
All right.
Which is
Whatever 25
25.
minus 11.
14.
14 is. And then I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself
All right.
for
Let's see it.
2 plus its first level, 3,
It's 3.
4, 5, 6.
So 8.
8.
All right. The Hellhound behind you, Osborne. The Hellhound behind you leaps up at you as this mushroom dust sort of erupts over you. It leaps at you from behind. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
Oh, one above.
All right, and that's going to be 7 piercing damage and 10
Right on
fire.
the arm.
So he grabs onto your arm and he yanks you back. You can feel your shoulder dislocated from that that pull, and that's going to put us back at Thaddeus.
I'm literally back down to all the healing in the world.
I,
Drop right back down.
Still pretty badly wounded. Then I clap a hand to my shoulder, and the light kind of starts to heal my injuries as I use lay on hands with 12. So I'll pull myself back up to a reasonable amount of health here, and then. Seeing this this great hero of the light, I don't know if I know who Aeldon Grimright is, but he's clearly bearing the powers of Lorimir, so that works for me. Then just kind of with was looking pretty rough and pretty hopeless, and now all of a sudden just yes, and so I'm recklessly going to swing
Use this
away.
card on your turn. You may take an additional action, but grant advantage to all enemies until the end of your next turn.
I know, but I'm doing it. And so that's the thing that I'm doing. And so then I'm swinging into this guy.
All
who
right.
is Still
He's
very
staggered
fire-riveted.
as well.
Wow. 16.
Oh, right at the last moment, he swings his shield. Oh, he doesn't have a shield. No, he is actually one of the guard watch captains. 16 will hit.
Nice.
Take that.
Nice.
Nice. So you take 7 damage.
All right.
How's he looking?
He's still up, but he's looking rough.
All right. I'm gonna move through Nullius' space to this last.
Aeldon space, you mean?
Aeldon space. Excuse me. To this last Hellhound. Who is it? Looking pretty battered.
It is. Oh, I didn't know you had your
I'm
Aeldon.
gonna swing at that Hellhound then.
All right.
And there's the crit. There we go. That's what. And it's a fiend, isn't it?
It is.
So I've only got the one first level spell slot, but that's 68 plus my 2d8 from the weapon.
All right.
I thought fiends didn't exist in Bella.
Oh, no, they do.
They
now.
do now.
Thanks, Morgan.
Though we don't know what.
8,
year.
11. Ooh. 21, 24.
So you're seeing history being made.
Plus another 13,
Not
37,
It's really not good.
41 damage as a holy light suffuses my weapon and I just slam it in with both hands.
And as you do so, as this light just erupts, first flames that are then squelched by this sunlight erupting from the creature, you can see that this has done far more than it should ever have done against just some mere elementally powered dog. This is not what it appears to be.
This is a foe worthy
Oh,
of
it's
Lord
not
Amir's
dead.
light.
It is.
Oh,
it's not dead yet.
Not
Wait,
dead.
Oh, it's
what?
not dead?
It has 4 HP. Yoi.
I'm sorry. I'm
Did so much damage.
Stand up. I'm gonna punch this guy right in the face.
All right.
Oh, you're on the
me.
guy? Okay.
Yeah, so, and he's kind of still standing over you as well. So as you stand up, you sort of kick up, knocking him back for a moment.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I just want to say I rolled 3 d20s. All of them are 12.
That's
Well, what's the total?
1 in a whole lot of chances.
12 plus 6?
All 3 of them hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. That means that this one is 6 damage on my first hit as I guess kick him right, in the chest. On my
1 in 8,000
second hit,
chance of that.
7 damage is X damage.
Not a spell.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What level do monks get magical attacks?
6.
Okay, are you 6th level?
No.
Okay.
She does have a magic axe.
Yeah, this is
though.
my
You have
magic
magic
axe.
axe? Okay.
This is the one that's magic.
Okay.
It's 6. No, sorry, 7 damage for that. And
7
then
piercing or slashing?
slashing.
Okay.
And then it does 1 fire damage.
Okay.
I don't care about that one, but
And then I rip it out of him for 7 more damage.
So only the first, that 7 damage from the magical axe seems to have had any effect at all. Even the fire, as it starts to burn, it just sort of, the fire itself is drawn towards the wound, and his wound seems to stitch itself shut as he moves with unnatural movements, sort of snapping into place rather than moving like a normal creature.
Popping and locking. all
That
the
puts
way.
us at Esteem.
Oh, Esteem.
gives you a reroll once per.
Well, Esteem's a little shocked at the arrival of this new behemoth, but I think I'll just pull a chill touch on that dude.
All right.
And he's still fairy fired.
He is.
So let's ice him. That's an 18.
Oh yeah, he's still fairy fired. You
or
had
a 19.
That'll hit.
No, only these guys had. Oh!
Him too.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
a 14 necrotic damage.
All right, so opening your cloak, you grab one of the hands in your cloak or your robe and toss it towards this guy. The hand goes flying towards him and it grabs onto his face, shoving its fingers down his mouth
Oh!
and yanking.
Ow.
And it tears his jaw to place. He goes, ah! And he drops to the ground as the claw pierces through his eyes and just starts to squeeze. He is
Just
killed.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, Colby, do you happen to remember what my necklace
So are you
did?
doing that?
I don't off the
give
top of my
advantage
head.
To a buddy
No,
thing
Uh,
against a guy, because
yeah, that dude. Yeah, I'm gonna send my familiar out to
so it goes along the wall.
muddle with the big
All right.
boy, and help
Starts picking
him.
his nose.
And Esteem's gonna use his movement to go through the door here.
All right.
Oh, just get out of the way.
I'll be right here.
Have fun.
All
I
right.
know they came from that direction.
And just so you know, that other door is open.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Then that puts us
Behind, behind the wall.
that puts us at Blackwell, who's still standing in front of Oz.
Let's go.
All right, so his first strike is a 15 to hit. All right, and his second's gonna be a 17,
Ooh.
and that one is going to deal 6 bludgeoning damage as he slams his mace down onto you. Oh, interesting. I didn't know about that. Okay, so he slams his mace down onto you for an extra, or for 6 bludgeoning damage, and then he turns, looking at this creature that this man next to him has become, and he says, "Time to see one of you in action." And that puts us at.
Bless you.
That puts us at all the watch. Oh, yes, the only watch captain that's still alive is that one. At that thing.
That thing.
And that thing, again, as you go in for the punch and the slash, it grabs onto your fist, and it just starts to squeeze.
No.
and that's going to hit you, dealing 10 slashing damage as it just squeezes its claws into your hand. I need you to make a con save.
Yeah, why are you doing this to me again, dude? I knew I should have done key point. I forgot about it. That I had those. I always do.
Did you crit it? Did you crit it?
I just got a crit.
Nice. All right. These vermin start to crawl on you, and as they do, you take the flat side of your axe and sweep them off your arm. He then, again, his jaw unhinges, and he clamps down onto your hand as he just yanks it forward. And that's going to deal 15 piercing
down.
damage.
Yikes.
All right.
I only got 17.
How many spells you still got?
All right. The Baron goes walking around the left side of the table there.
On the left side, this one?
Yeah.
Hey, Steam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. He sees you as he turns in there.
And there.
Does he bring his mirrors?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go with him. And as he gets up there, he smiles when he looks at you, and he says, "You will regret coming here."
You are already too late.
Aw.
Really, you thought to assassinate me?
No.
Did you not think that if I declared myself against both Thrimakath and Caneth, surely I had something up my sleeve?
No.
Perhaps you would like to share the idea with me.
Monologue.
He says,
And he's
"Absolutely. I'll share all I know." And he puts a hand to your forehead,
Not like this.
and he's going to fire 3 scorching rays into your forehead.
Oh, it's point blank, so at disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, I guess it'll be a disadvantage. Just for fun here. Okay, so the first one, what is his spell attack bonus, I guess? I actually don't know.
What I know is.
Alright, the first is only a 12.
That's
Turn
not
into
good
something
enough
that's
to
a
do the
bonus.
mage armor.
The second's gonna hit.
Is it?
And 19.
But it's a spell, so I can't.
Well, at a second level, I'll go ahead and shield that one.
Alright, so all 3
It's a really good shield.
slam into this magical shield that sort of just shimmers around you.
Is that
And
what
he
you
says,
got?
"Looks like you have a few tricks too." And that puts us at
That's your
Eldon.
last spell, right?
Oh, yeah, that's my last
That's
spell.
a cantrip for him. Eldon.
Eldon,
Kill that dude.
Here's the Baron. And
Oh, fair.
he's leaving the range of the
doggo.
Hellhound. So,
Alright, the Hellhound will attempt an opportunity attack against him.
Attempt being keyword.
attempt.
I mean,
It's
Eldon's
AC
pretty hard to hit.
AC 21.
Yeah, he missed Eldon.
Yeah, for sure.
So he chomps at Eldon's ankle, and Eldon just plants a boot in his nose.
Whatever that is.
Inspiration.
That's real.
How does that play?
Oh, no, naturally. Then he'll
Better use it, dude.
see the Baron. I've found you! And swing on that guy.
Villain.
So that's going to be a 23, or 24 to hit the Baron.
Alright, and the Baron can't even shield that one, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, right on, you got him.
It's
He
gonna-
actually,
yeah.
24?
Yeah, it's going to need to be one of his mirror images, probably.
Alright, let's find out.
Yeah.
Yep, it slams into that first mirror image, cutting it down.
Did you kill
Ah.
something? Or is it? I guess it doesn't count.
That doesn't
Weird
count.
wizardry. And he'll try again.
And Steam goes, yes.
That one's a 22.
Alright, slashing again, you cut into another mirror image that just sort of disappears. He
Tired of
said,
your games, Baron?
"I've prepared for you, Grimright."
Oh,
Well, I didn't expect to be here, so good for you.
that's remarkable. Remarkable.
Alright, that's gonna put us at Osborne.
Osborne,
something.
seeing my friend, closest ally out of all of this group,
Yeah, I imagine.
is going to put his hand in his herbalist kit,
Me?
Yeah, of course it's you.
place it on
Really?
top of UI,
Yay!
and cast Killer Wounds.
Yay! I'm gonna remember my key points this time.
Is it 2d8?
Oh.
If it's second level, it is.
No, I'm only doing one.
Then just D8. Plus 3, plus
Holy
3, so
crap.
plus 6, so 14.
You get 14 health.
Holy
off of one
crap.
spell.
Nice.
That was a heck of a spell.
Nice.
Also, as soon as I do that, like, as soon as I let go, I turn into a needle blight.
Just a needle blade. Okay.
That's the best thing I can do.
Oh, that's all you got right now?
And mountain.
Oh, because it's mountain. Yeah. Alright. That puts us at the Hellhound. The Hellhound whips around, and it's going to bite at Thaddeus.
Okay.
Ooh, critting Thaddeus.
Son of a gun.
Son of a gun.
Could you have re-rolled?
Son
No.
of a gun. Actually, I still have one of my second level. I have one first level, one second.
This is gonna be 10 piercing damage
I'm using healing spirit.
and 13 fire damage.
How many cards do I?
And that puts us at Thaddeus. The Hellhound is clamping down onto you. You can feel just these singeing teeth
How's it look?
burning into your flesh.
It's on.
It's looking very weak, but it's holding on with a death grip.
I'm gonna hit it.
They
Fall down. And I bring my spear up in an overhead stab, just straight down onto it, which is cocked. Let's try that. There we go.
There you go.
It's a hit, not quite a crit. Dang it all. 6 damage.
All right, bringing your spear right down through its head, you plunge it into the ground. The spear pierces the carpet on the floor, and you tear it back up as the Hellhound drops to the ground. Again, the light fading from its eyes with a whimper.
With a bonus action, I'm gonna extend my grip on my spear as I whip it free, and then send it hurtling towards the guard thing.
All right.
And it's fairy fire did it. So I'm gonna hit it with advantage. It's the last of the fairy fire things. I got it in the nat 16. And another 6 damage.
Okay. It doesn't seem to even notice the blow.
Yeah, because it's not a magic weapon. Okay. Then I'm actually going to move into this next room with the with the
no.
Baron. Currently, yes.
UI barely has any health, and I barely have any
I
health.
know.
UI.
But I'm the silencer.
What's happening?
And it's a spellcaster.
Hi, Booster.
We're the only ones in this hallway, and we're kind of
He
a
changed his
little
mind.
screwed because everyone left us, and none of you guys have taken damage.
What? No, they're taking damage.
Yeah.
Oh well, Zombie Boy barely has.
Zombie boy's hardly.
No, Zombie Boy didn't notice me hitting
He
it
hasn't
because I have a
taken any
non-magical
damage.
weapon.
Oh, I
that
wanted
part's
to draw a
true.
card, but I only have 2. I don't know which one's which.
Oh, that's Hey, Booster, I'll put you in my lap in just a
I'm
second.
twig.
Well, untwig yourself.
Let's read
No.
this, see if it's
I
important.
have 1 HP.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If he's not twig, he's not belong.
What's my
But
charisma?
Untwig, disengage, and then he
+1.
metals and just run.
I'd
Alright,
rather use my last second spell for Healing Spirit.
Yeah.
Well, I missed. Except for one.
Did you get up?
Yeah, I stood up. I just stood up. One of them is.
You got advantage.
Do I?
Yeah, if you're hitting this dude.
He's very.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fairy fire.
Okay, so 3 and a 6.
Okay.
And then another 3. But this one's a 12. So, but they're not magical. The one that was magical. missed.
Yeah, the only one you need to roll is that one.
Well, you get
Yeah.
2 attacks with that one.
That's true.
Yeah, it seems like you're always doing this deal, but you can do this deal too.
I did that too.
You've been doing that.
And you have noticed that it doesn't seem to care except when that
That's
steel
fair,
bites
that's
it.
fair. Then it's a 18 to hit
Okay.
for 8 slashing
Okay.
and for fire.
Fire doesn't matter.
And then
Uh,
I am going to.
And again, though the steel does seem to bite into its flesh with this weapon, it doesn't seem as effective as it should be.
What? I'm gonna use a
Oh,
keyboard.
I don't like that.
What do you wanna do?
Unarmed is not what I want. I
Patient
could dodge and
Might be
let
worth it.
Sam go away.
But dodging is good
Disengage.
because they can always hit you.
Disengage out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Steam.
okay.
Esteem is
Where am I
right
going?
up on this dude, so
Back,
try
'cause I'm
shocking
gonna go
grasp.
back.
Because you're out of spells.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was your last trick.
Shocking grasp is not
feel you.
gonna work.
All right.
Far back.
As you reach out to grasp him, you can't quite grasp around his arm. There's this shimmering field that sort of you run into as you reach towards him.
And well, my familiar's all the way out there, so he's probably gonna give advantage on this guy still.
Okay. And that makes it Blackwell's turn. And again, he raises his mace and swings down one after the other.
13 now.
And that's going to be a 19 to hit,
Crap.
For- 8 bludgeoning damage.
Because you're twig.
All right. And then the second one is only a 13 to hit.
That's right on mine.
All right, that's 11 bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
Oh, really?
All right. And as you go down, he's going to step forward over your body, and he looks back to the thing next to him, and he says, "Enjoy." And
Excuse
he
me?
starts walking around
Everyone
towards
has
where
fully
Thaddeus
left
went.
me in this hallway with this zombie guy.
Well, I thought you were coming with me.
I was.
He thought he was too.
Uh-huh.
All right, that creature.
Thaddeus just needs to counterspell.
You'd prefer him just fireball or cloud kill?
That creature, like, starts grabbing onto you and
Great.
chewing.
That's that's safe.
Yeah.
What is your hit die? You're a druid, right?
Awesome.
D8.
41. Hit die? D8.
D8. The creature regains, and what's your con mod?
Awesome. 2.
Regains 6 HP,
Holy
Takes
no.
a failed death save.
and you take a failed death save.
I'll come back to you soon. I'll hear him gnawing on you. Come back.
Yeah, I think we all hear that. That's pretty hard.
Yeah, and you hear just this squelching, chewing, ravenous, devouring sound, and that's going to put us at the Baron. The Baron, holding just his wand to one side and drawing a rapier in the other hand in his left hand, he spreads them wide and he says, "So good of you all to join me here in the kitchen. It just so happens I've prepared quite the dish for you."
Oh,
And he
come on.
plunges his wand forward, and everyone in the room here
Oh boy.
needs to make an intelligence save.
And you get a +2 to that because Eldon.
Yay!
And his DC is only 14. Oh, yeah, 14. Oh, wait, that may be wrong. That doesn't sound right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wrong.
14, 15.
Let me do the math.
Oh god.
It's weird.
I got an 18.
I was about to say you're a wizard. You're good.
Eldon.
That doesn't seem right. So in that case, it should be a 16 is the save.
Still passed it.
All right. So
Oh, I got 16.
Then,
everyone who passed the save
I'm
will
gonna.
take half of this.
Oh.
Bugger that.
As everyone in the room,
Does that include
Uh,
his friend?
Actually,
in the
no.
room here,
Yeah,
does he have a friend?
No, it does not, sir.
He's in the
Because as I just rolled my
No one's in the room with.
charisma
Yeah,
check,
he is?
so I got what was the level of that spell?
Oh, he is.
The level of that spell was a 5th.
So that is 8 plus spells level. DC's 13. I rolled a nat 16.
All right.
And so as
as you do that, your counterspell goes off, and he points his rapier towards you.
Oh,
And counterspell is what level spell?
well, it's not a counterspell. It's my channel divinity. So it's
Oh.
not a counterspell.
Oh, it's
I
not-
don't think he can stop.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, go ahead. What does
So,
it do?
As he was it his wand?
It was his wand. Yeah.
As he extends the wand forward, then I just drop the spear and extend my hand forward. And so what kind of energy was it? Just this crazy.
It was just sort of all the sound in the room was gathering towards the end of the wand.
Then it just zips towards me and is thrown. Yeah. And then I just send it out of the room, and you hear it just slam into nothing because it hits the silence that I still
All
have
right.
cast.
Nice.
Neato.
Then, in that
Did you
case,
prepare for me?
he says, "I didn't know you'd be coming, but I can write up an invitation." That puts us at Eldon.
Silencer. Andy. And Eldon will.
We do our best, sir.
Will throw on his own sort of special magic and go ahead and cast a Spirit Guardian.
Woohoo! All right. As you start doing that, you can see basically like how does your Spirit Guardians look again?
It's chains ripping up out of the ground.
All right. So these chains start ripping up out of the ground, and he just slashes his rapier through one of the chains. The level's what on those?
Oh, it's level 3.
Level 3. All right. And
I
counterspell.
think it's level 3. So
It is level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the chains suddenly just sort of he shatters the chains, and the rest fade away.
Oh.
And suddenly his wand starts to glow.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay.
All right.
That's not
good.
before.
As I said, Sir Grimright, I was ready for you.
No!
I'm going to break that.
Save me! He's gonna kill
Osborne,
me!
it's your turn. Roll me a death save.
What would that say? Give us that crit.
Tyler, do you want to give us a card?
All
Yeah, he was just talking about how he was gonna make him feel it.
I feel it in
Oh.
you.
Woo, that means you've only got. Oh man,
On
you
the
don't
last
have
one.
very long to live. This could be bad.
You know,
Alright.
if the zombie's gonna hit me again, I'm dead, guys.
Thaddeus.
Gotta
Yeah.
relax.
I'm leaving
Nice
the room.
with Tyler, but we'll find out.
I'm pushing past him. I'm just leaving the
Hey,
room.
guess who?
Reroll that failure!
Ha ha!
So, for those of you who don't know,
Who gave it?
If I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but I think didn't the thing he get let him choose a
Yeah,
value?
it lets him
you
choose the
can
value.
choose what number.
Oh,
yeah,
you can
So
just
what
give-
number do you want, Tyler?
we'll get a second.
We are on a delay.
He paid to be a D6 roller on our Patreon page, which you can find on our Twitch TV page. And basically, it was like $5, and he gets to choose what
Give me
value
20.
You did?
we roll for a roll.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I'm not
as
doing
you
that.
feel this sudden pain in your finger, it jolts you awake, and you can see this creature chomping down on your hand. This just ravenous beast of a man. What do you want to do? You got 1 HP.
He loves you. 1 HP.
1 HP.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds 2nd level on myself.
Okay.
Alright.
I guess that's all you can do. Huh?
Holy shnikes. It's 2d8 second level.
Uh-huh. So you get plus
Everyone's like,
six,
wow!
plus 7.
So 17.
Nice. That's a pretty solid amount of health.
It is.
And so that's was that my turn? 'Cause it was-
Yeah, that was your
It
turn.
was my turn.
I look, wait.
Oh.
I look
It
at
was supposed to be my
I
turn.
look
You
at the
rolled it.
creature and I say, "You're not supposed to eat you, Wayne."
Are you Wayne now? Alright, go ahead.
I did just get a gift from you, Wayne.
Alright,
Oh,
that's
it's
true.
Alright,
Alright,
is
go
that your
ahead.
turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his turn, so it's
Alright, cool. So
Oh, I stand back up.
yeah, I guess from back here where I am, I can't hurt that that thing, the Zambi
Not as
thing.
far as you know. Your
Yeah,
other text isn't
but
gonna work.
This guy,
Eldon might be the only one here who has a chance against it.
yeah. This guy, on the other hand, on my left, maybe so. So having just eaten that spell, then I'm just gonna like lean down to grab my spear, and as I do so, just snapping back upright, I'm gonna slam my shield into what is he?
Blackwell?
Blackwell, and attempt to knock him prone. Have him make an athletics check opposed by mine.
Alright.
21.
He's close to that. He got a 20. You got him.
So he just is slammed to the ground, and then twirling my spear in one hand, I just bring it down on top of him.
All right, you got
Advantage. 'Cause
advantage.
He's prone. I figured he might have a pretty high AC. So
Yeah, he does. He does.
Like, thank you, advantage. Net 18.
That'll get him.
Man, 10 damage, pretty solid.
Alright, not bad at all. That's the first hit he's taken.
I
You
know.
plunge your spear down, breaking a piece of his armor. He sort of grabs onto it and wrestles with you for a moment, readying his mace to swing up at you here in a moment.
Smarter to stay down.
UI.
Oh, I have to save
I'll hold this one. I say to you, as you're like, well, the chains didn't work. It's very Morgan, help!
Okay.
Somewhere in the pits of hell, Morgan just kind of goes.
We got 30
Okay.
or 35?
35. 30, yeah, because that's not one.
35. Four. I don't know where the door is.
It's over here.
And then I throw an axe at him.
Alright, which one?
I don't really want to do the magical one. It was more so just to be like, come get me!
Hey.
Okay, in that case, instead of rolling an attack roll, roll me a
Silence?
persuasion or intimidation check.
Well, I'm in silence.
Right, but this is more about the actual
Yeah,
axe
the axe
rather
that you're
than...
flinging at him. He's a mindless beast. It might be pretty effective.
Ooh, which ones are those in?
Charisma.
They are. I'm not very charismatic, so I got a 10.
A 10? Alright.
It's intimidation, though. So you can flavor it.
Right, it's an axe. Axes are not terribly persuasive, but they are pretty intimidating.
You rolled a 9. It turns, seeing you, the fire in its eyes glowing brighter, its jaw still hanging unhinged, and it starts turning and striding in your direction.
A key point to
Do that dodge
dodge.
thing.
All right, it's Steam.
His steam is still alive, right? Because that thing never went off.
Got your back.
He's gonna go for the shocking grasp. Then
All right.
if nothing else, take out that mirror image.
That's why I had to go in the other one, 'cause I figured he had to be speed.
Wow, that's gonna miss too. Unless his AC's 11.
It is not.
Would 11 hit the mirror image?
Oh, good question.
Actually, fair point.
It actually rolls for that first. It needs a 13 plus now, right?
Mm-hmm.
To hit the mirror image?
For one, I think it's 11 plus. Since there's only one mirror image left. It's like 50-50.
No, it's 6 plus, then it's 8 plus. What's that one say? Is it 11?
This is one.
Pretzel
11
Bread
plus.
just donated $5.
Who did?
Pretzel Bread.
He'll be more likely to help us.
Yeah,
anyway.
What you want,
it's
Chris?
11 plus.
So then, in that case, it does break through the mirror image, and the mirror
Nice.
image is gone.
That is taken care of.
That's excellent, actually.
Yes.
That was very effective.
Very good.
And what about your little crawly hand?
That is going to continue. It can't get anywhere. Well, you know what? It can move,
Yeah.
but it might take an opportunity. attack.
Maybe.
Yeah, this dude's kind of distracted, but he could like step on it and die. I think he's just gonna keep helping, this dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 'cause
So like Haley or
Yeah. rather than
Every time I say
small
Ewing,
fish.
everyone pictured Tyler Price.
All right, is that it for you then?
That is it for me.
Thank you, Tyler.
Okay, then that puts us at Blackwell. Blackwell, as he starts to stand up, swings his leg to try to trip you up. Roll me that athletics check
Okay.
again. Oh, he actually rolled real bad.
I rolled a better.
All right, so he swings his leg into your own, and for a moment, your eyes lock, your legs lock in this position, and he swings his mace right in towards your gut, and that's going to be an 18 to hit,
Yep.
and that's going to deal 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And he says, "Why don't you stay down, dwarf? It's where your kind belongs."
Let's not make this into a race thing.
All right, the creature starts slowly striding and then running towards UI, leaping at her.
He moves from my.
Indeed.
He does.
Sean up the
Smacking.
What y'all know about this quarterstaff?
Is it a magic quarterstaff?
No.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I'm like
Oh, surely the hand wouldn't have gone with him.
sting like a butterfly, float like a bee.
What? You said that completely wrong.
I know.
Totally wouldn't have gone.
All right, so it leaps up at you, its claw overhead, and it plunges downward, its claw clamping on to your skull, and as it goes straight towards your skull, you drop and do a backward somersault across the ground, and he lands on the other side, skidding across the carpet. Whipping around, he comes running towards you, his jaw agape.
Disadvantage.
He rolled a nat 1 2 times this turn, and he chomps down at you, his jaw snapping back into a place with an unnatural speed right next to your ear. That puts us at the Baron.
Seems like you should bite his tongue or something with 2
Um,
crit fails in a row.
The Baron says, "Very well, you didn't like the appetizer. How about the main course?" And everyone in the room needs to roll an intelligence save.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Not me. Sam, did you see this?
What? No.
Intelligence saves for
15,
Esteem.
17 was my
Okay.
roll.
Esteem got a 22
Okay.
plus 2 because Eldon's aura.
Yeah.
All right.
And Eldon got, what's the intelligence? 18 on Eldon.
You
Alright.
get one reroll per episode for the whole month.
His guy, for what level?
D6.
For D6 roller? Really?
Mhm.
Oh. Alright, so everyone got a 16 or higher?
Yep.
Alright, so everyone, including his guy in there, is going to take half of this.
Because Patreon works by month. You pay monthly.
Oh, okay.
You donate monthly.
He actually rolled really poorly. So everyone is going to take half of 26. So everyone takes 13 psychic damage in the room.
And
What did
Eldon
you
is going
just
to.
use?
A real fun spell. Luckily, no one failed to save, or that would have been real bad.
What's it called?
Synaptic Static.
Is that a new one?
It
Yeah,
is.
it sounds sanitized even.
You said it was 13 on pass?
Right.
Eldon is going to catch Esteem's, seeing as he is on his last legs there.
Okay.
Oh, fair.
With Divine Allegiance, his
Thanks,
Crown
Eldon.
Paladin reaction.
You're a nice,
Alright.
nice filler.
Nice.
All right, and that puts us at Eldon's turn.
Okay.
Kill him. He's got no mirror.
Going old-fashioned on this one with the great sword, and I was doing his pluses all wrong. I was doing his damage for the attack, so it's actually a plus 11 on the 9-line stealer.
Ooh.
So his first attack is gonna be a Great Weapon Master attack. Shouldn't have done that. That's a 9. 9 to hit.
That won't do it. You swing the 9 live stealer in, and it crashes against a magical
Am I
barrier.
allowed to give my inspiration to him?
I'd be okay with it. You know what? Since he's a guest character, I'm gonna say no.
Well, Eldon has his own inspiration.
He does.
That's true. He did
just get one.
He will use it for
All right.
Are you going
Still,
Great Weapon?
still a Great Weapon Master, and that's good because that's a 21.
A 21.
21 to hit.
Isn't that like plus 10 to damage?
Yeah,
All right,
that's good.
so as you swing in, he raises his rapier and slashes through the air, and suddenly it's as though the rapier just sort of hardens and it parries the greatsword. He's casted shield.
That is not great. So it's gonna be his AC is gonna be higher
That is
now.
not great.
His AC is now at 22.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
Probably not with the Great Weapon Master then.
Probably not with Great Weapon Master. He's gonna attack again now. I'm trying to remember all his skills. It's been a minute. And that's fine. That's a 25.
25 will hit.
Let's see if he beat that
No,
one.
he literally hooked into my skin and
That's
pulled me.
Yeah, he does that.
18 slashing damage. Let's
The
tack
Baron-
on-
Watch out.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's tack on a second level smite.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if he.
Ooh,
He's not.
buddy. 19 radiant damage.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, the Baron goes staggering backwards, panting heavily as this light sears through the barrier. The barrier sort of, you can see it stitching itself back up in front of him, and he says,
Profana.
"You know not what you will do if you bring me down."
I know
Pretzel
exactly
Bread
what
says
I'm
I'm
doing.
pretty sure it was actually a 20 with the soul stealing sword.
Real quick, before he says that, I'll give you a chance to take this back just in case, if you don't know. He says, "Strike me down, and the beast is free."
As far as I can tell, the only beast in here is you.
All right, so is it a 20?
If that's what it is, that's what it is.
All right.
Except maybe we're dead.
Okay.
I hope he was talking about
so
that beast in
that
there.
case,
Oh no, I know what beast it is. It's this one.
so
I
it
hope
was
not.
it was 11 on the first that, and he doesn't roll 2 because great weapon fighting style. Ooh, shoot, so 21 plus.
Woof.
So it was 28 slashing damage on that attack.
All right. And, well, it's a
On
nat.
that crit there.
On that crit, yeah.
All
And
right.
so
28 more or
No,
28?
28 total instead of the 17 that it was.
Instead of the
An additional
17.
11.
And then you didn't smite that one.
I did smite that one. That was the second level smite, and the smite was it was 658. That's 19.
Yeah.
19 additional.
19 radiant
Plus.
right now.
Oh.
Oh my word! Plus 22 radiant damage.
One of the gems on the 9 live stealer glows, and the Baron sort of crooks for a moment as he staggers forward, this wound in his side,
Buddy.
bleeding profusely. He looks up and he says, "What have you done?"
I've added one to the blade.
And he drops to the ground dead.
So nonchalant about it. Well.
That's a kill. So he's gonna whip around with his great weapon master and attack the other dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not prone now, right?
Right.
What does Zombie Boy look like right now?
So he looks exactly the same still. Currently.
Okay.
And this will be a great weapon master attack. I've got faith in this one. That's another crit.
Woo!
That's a crit on a great weapon master attack.
Great one.
Francis says, I hope I didn't just kill everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Morgan. This is all your fault anyway.
Another 7, 14, 21 slashing
Show me that other
damage.
non-powdered one there.
And why don't we make this one the third level?
Oh.
So we're gonna roll 8 of these. That's. Did you catch the slashing damage?
No, I didn't. What was it?
21.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, 31 because we're webmaster.
Right.
Yep. That's gonna be 13. Excuse me, 15. 7 or 4. That's cocked a little bit. That's lower than it would have been. 16. So 15, 15, 16, oh, plus 3 more. Plus 11. 15, 16, and 11.
42.
42 radiant damage. And is he now below half health?
Quite a bit.
Then
He's
that's
he's
going
at a
into the
0.
blade too. Oh, very good. Okay, then that won't go into the blade. I think he'll just die.
How many souls
Unless-
can you keep in the blade?
9.
9.
And I
That's
think
why it's
that's
called
the
that.
second that he's taken?
I think so.
I think only the first one was, and that went to a
Well, just some
just
schmuck,
some-
wasn't
just
it? Yeah.
some schmuck.
Some guy. Eldon was like,
Some
ha!
unfortunate
well,
elf
that was-
prone.
With a quick plunge of the blade, you plunge it straight through his heart, and this light sort of erupts up the blade, and he slides off dead to the ground with one fell blow. Osborne.
Yay. He's gonna charge.
Hi.
I'm gonna probably let that silence go now, I think.
Okay.
Oh, if you
As the wizard falls, good enough. And I just kind of, there's a tension that releases from my shoulders, and this silence disappears. So now we can all of a sudden hear him just, or whatever it is.
Oh, it's totally silent.
Oh.
Still.
That's weird. So we can now just hear UI going,
No,
Fine.
as what's his face shows up, I just go.
In Broken Army, you hear, be calm, elf.
That's true, that
Very
is.
confused.
And you only speak Guaranian, don't you? Yeah.
So yeah, her Narwhalian sucks.
Yeah, I love it. All right,
It's-
Osborne.
It's so broken, I cannot.
Not even a chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my thorn whip and try to wrap it around the zombie and pull him towards me, since I think he's bigger than me.
He is.
Okay. Don't worry, boss. 16 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
21.
21 will hit him.
That's your title.
Oh, I heard boss.
No.
Like
Boss.
Boss.
B-O-S-S. Was it-
3.
Yeah,
Wait,
you get
yeah,
two.
that's right. 9 damage.
9 magical damage.
9
Yeah.
magical damage.
Magical
All right.
kissing.
So you pull in, it doesn't feel as effective as it normally would be, and yank him forward.
Ain't coming towards me.
Hey, does that mean I get to hit him?
No, I'm
No.
not.
It's forcible movement. Unfortunate.
All right.
This is so cool. We've had 2 rerolls this game.
Yeah.
All right. That puts us at Thaddeus.
Cool. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good enough for me.
Have a good
Um,
time in your new job. Thank you for the reroll.
Woo! And so as I come running in, I just come thundering in with my shield upraised and ram into this guy, trying to knock him prone. Have him make an athletics check.
All right.
That's super cocked. 17.
He got a 25.
All right.
No, 24.
As I kind of bounce back, fine, and then sweep my shield at his legs. I'm trying again, make another one.
All right. That time wasn't as good. He got 14.
Cool. I got a 24. Get wrecked.
All right, yeah. You trip him up, and he sort of hits the ground with a solid thud on his back, and he's laying still.
Plant a foot on him. Can't actually, but you know,
Right.
that's the aim.
UI.
You've got advantage to hit him now. Oh, I guess you did anyway, but whatever. There's only so much I can do.
Moving up on him.
Oh yeah, totes, dude.
Totes my goats.
Throwing my axe at his face. Got a 26
Yeah.
to hit.
26 to hit.
Misses.
Yeah.
Will hit.
Got this.
Uh,
Does they 35?
oh gosh, I just lost all my math abilities. 7
What
slashing,
abilities?
And doesn't matter about the fire.
and then 1 fire.
All right.
Wait, I got 2 attacks.
Yep.
Yes.
I didn't have enough dice.
Sucker. Woo!
2 5s. Great damage though. So 9.
All right. Your first strike, you cleave into him, not as deep as you should.
Give her both my inspirations.
Sure.
Give
Roll
her-
him again.
Roll him again.
She'll need. Oh, you didn't hit him all.
She feels a surge
better.
of green energy
Better. I would-
pulling her axes towards her, towards the enemy.
Yeah. Oh, with a vine whip. Just
22
That'll hit.
for 9
Okay.
slashing, and then the fire doesn't imagine.
All right. Yeah. So
Roll
you
lots of
slash and
fire,
you
though.
drag the axe across the creature's chest, and that puts us at a steam.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
get in here and do stuff.
He's like slumping on the wall here. Surprised he's still standing. I think at this point he should have died 2 or 3 times now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just what's the one?
Chill touch.
Chill touch?
Necrotic chill touch. That's the one.
You wanna move your hand to him?
Necrotic.
He's prone, so I would be at disadvantage. on
That's
this one.
true.
Yep.
Can you force a save instead, or is that's all you got?
Nope. So I got all attacking cantrips.
Sorry.
But I'll
I forgot he
go
was
for
fairy
it.
fired, or
Wait,
I wouldn't
do you-
have done that.
Doesn't matter. 19.
19 will hit.
19.
With that 2d8.
Oh, for 16 necrotic damage.
Man, our wizard can do stuff.
That's
Yeah.
something.
Ain't that something?
That's some new reveal damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like Esteem post sessions 1 through 3.
All right, nice.
Became good after that,
So
before that.
the damage sort of erupts across his body as this lightning arcs all over, and then is just sort of sucked into his wounds.
Nice.
And that
Yep.
puts us at his turn,
That was
and
a good-
suddenly it's as though he's like realized the fall of the Baron, and that fire in his eyes burns brighter for a moment.
Uh-oh.
Roll a wisdom save.
For who? Misty?
Yeah, for Esteem.
Okay.
Good, that's the less dangerous of the two to have to roll a wisdom save.
Oh, you know it's 10 feet for. Unless when does the aura get bigger? 18. Yeah, he's not.
Let's go, Esteem.
Wisdom.
Uh-oh.
16.
All right, this fire leaps out of his eyes, coming straight towards yours. You feel it hit you, and you feel a presence in your mind resting for control against you. But then, slowly, it dies down.
Oh.
Kill it quick!
Whatever that is.
You are.
Put it
You
down.
see that the creature now has dropped to the ground, panting heavily. And looking up, his eyes have returned to normal. You can replace him with that other model.
Oh,
Oh boy.
okay. So it just attempted a possession?
I don't know.
Or
Is
did
he
it
gonna
succeed
stand up?
in a possession?
Yeah, he's kind of on his knees, and he looks around and he goes, "Where am I?"
Your Baron is dead, soldier.
This is a dream.
He died from the fell magics he attempted to control, those that he used to twist you.
I killed him.
No.
Yes. Come on, dude. Let him feel bad about it.
We
Mate,
killed him. You were an unwilling servant for an unholy lord. We will allow you to live if you surrender your arms now.
Then
Your
what?
town is under siege. You're unlikely to live unless you surrender.
And where's the beast?
The beast.
What?
Yes.
You are the beast.
The one.
No, where is it?
The salt
It's
circle?
not in me anymore. Where is it?
Did we see
Well,
where
well,
You
it
saw
tried, it tried to.
I felt as though it attempted to assault me, but I shook it off, of course. It was a trifle.
And it could be anywhere.
Can I make a perception check to
Maybe
see where
upstairs.
it may have gone?
You didn't see it leave him at all.
Can I hit it with a divine sense?
Sure.
Okay.
You sense a powerful presence within Esteem.
Oh,
No,
crap.
it is 623, of course.
No, this is something different.
Huh?
I don't think it did leave you.
Well, I shook it off. It was not a problem.
If you've killed the Baron while he was controlling the beast, you have no idea what you've done.
No, we don't.
Well, we stopped the Baron.
What is this beast? Explain yourself.
We don't know, that's the thing. Just some magic we bought from the orcs.
What?
Did
You,
you put that
bought
together
magic
first?
from the orcs?
Aye,
The spell.
the orcs found an old temple. A pyramid buried in a swamp.
Oh, that was my bad.
Yeah, and then you guys invisibly reading that, like,
He says, well, I don't know the details of it. The Baron's the only one what knew. But they offered to sell it. They offered to sell it if we declare against Thermocath and Caineth. When the Baron saw it, he agreed.
Mate, you bought a spell from the incomparable warlike community of orcs. How would that help you?
He says, I don't know. I just follow orders. But what I do know is that the Baron said to make sure that the beast never got out. And now, and he looks towards this gaping hole as wind is whistling through the new opening in the keep. He says,
Crap.
Now it's free. With that, you hear "Ah!" and a thud from upstairs.
Oh no. We'll go running upstairs.
Right, other matters to attend to.
Quickest way upstairs.
You big shiny man, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, to Eldon.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just like, oh,
Eldon, of course, grabs his sword and he starts following. Yeah.
Good, then bounce on it.
You get upstairs.
He's like, no.
And you see Piren now up against one wall of the secret room. Once you get up there, and he's leaning against one wall, just sort of panting heavily. He looks weakened. He's got several wounds from this war pick. And you see Nullius, who seems to be unconscious against the other wall. Books having broken from the shelves that he looks have to have been thrown into. Books just poured down across him.
I'll run towards him and give him my last point of lay on hands that I was saving basically for when one of you two went down.
Is it gone?
No.
The Baron is defeated. But whatever fool magic he was trifling with may have escaped. Something lurks within the wizard. But I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that was. But while I fought Piren, I sensed a presence. Something dark. Something wicked. Piren looks up and you can see that he's just stunned for a moment. And Nully is looking at Piren and says, "But it's not there now. I didn't beat it. I couldn't have. Weapons were of no use against it."
I walk over to Thorn and begin healing his wounds.
Foreign.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my last divine sense. Do I get anything other than
Only the
little
one that's
undead
in
and a
him.
big old fiend or big old something? Sorry.
Yeah.
Roll something. How's Eldon's divine sense?
And just for some clarity of language for the future, so it's easy. Nullius says, "I know not what these fiends are." There we go. It
I
says,
suppose we'll have to classify them. They would be a creature type, I think.
it says, "I know not what these fiends are, but I've never fought anything like it in my life."
First one to ever really
Nor have I.
classify a fiend.
Right, we don't put that in the
But of
history.
course,
Over here.
you've been in the service longer than I have. What about you, Sir Knight?
Why are you panting?
I just had to fight a big long fight.
I've never seen anything of these natures.
However, Eldon does remember one fight
Other
on the
than-
docks.
Well, a brief interaction, I suppose, with a staff, and I wasn't there. I only
Yeah.
heard about it secondhand.
No.
But
my
my
friend,
companions
my
came-
friend Yoan.
Yoan and an old hand of mine. What was his name?
Sorry, Pretzel.
It's been so long now. It's been
At least.
at least.
How long has it
It's,
been?
It's been like a year.
It's been at least 7 dinners.
It's been 12 months.
Probably Morgan. Who knows? Maybe. Yes, I heard about they encountered some creature released from a staff.
And you remember they also described to you that this staff was in a crate that had been shipped with another crate marked "Do not open under any circumstances." And within that crate was an orc that was larger, stronger, and more fearsome than any orc they'd ever seen.
And
Morgan
actually,
was unusually forthcoming with that information.
right at the end of the campaign, he used his divine sense and you said, "Oh, you sense thousands and thousands of fiends."
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
Oh.
So he actually would have a precedent.
Right.
Oh, I thought that was. I did that when we were in the whole illusion place. I just assumed it was.
No,
Oh.
you did it right at the end. We were on the boat about to
really?
finish
Yeah.
the campaign. And then
Oh.
Colby did his usual, like, it's just the 4 of you. Oh, just the 3 of you.
Yeah. But
And then I
yeah,
was like, I
these
divine sense.
presences that you've been feeling here feel just like the ones you felt within Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan.
Well, there may be something in the wizard after all.
Do you know what this is?
No. As I've said, I've only detected it within my old hand, and now this. Seems there's a new plague arising.
So I like to think that UI is very confused by this term hand and is literally thinking that you mean one of the hands that is.
I mean, his
sitting
team has a ton, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
He's a
like,
handy fellow.
"Oh, that's very strange. He had a hand like.
I
That's
literally,
so
Osborne's
weird."
going like,
You hear a booming voice from downstairs. Right then, secure that site, and you two, head to the bailey. Make sure that no more of the Baron's guards get in our way.
We are clear up here.
A towering lith man comes up and he says, Grimright! And he says, an excellent first outing for you. I knew I was right to bring you onto the team.
I'm glad to be here.
Looking to the rest of you.
Tending to the wind.
No, fair.
It probably is. Looking to the rest of you, he says, hello there. I'm sorry to intrude on your party, as it seems. Nullius bows and he says,
Me too. Yeah,
he says,
neckbreaker.
little neckbreaker. And Lev says, get the hell up. He looks around and he says, Lev is the name. You might have heard of me.
no.
No.
We literally say that in team together. No.
You have taken many trips to the Fallow Hearth while I was in tenure there. It's good to finally meet you in person. My name is Steve Leachson.
Well, the fellow is always welcome in my presence. Last time I was in Fallowhearth, oh, my friend the goblin did quite a lot of funny things.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that as funny.
Yes.
The Flynn Dark Magic wouldn't count as very funny.
In Fallowhearth?
Oh wait, no, we were perfectly fine in Falhearth.
Yeah.
You were
Just
putting on a
playing
show. It was great.
No.
Yeah.
Fallowhearth was when you did
Fallowhearth is when
Mithril Magnolias.
Yes, that's right.
It was a stirring performance.
And I had a lot of fans. You know.
Quite a
Yeah.
bit of cleanup after that, yes.
Do we need to do
Entertaining show
background
when
on who this is, or
What?
For our stream, this campaign setting was one I developed for the playtest of 5th edition D&D. And the very first campaign that we ran in it, the very first campaign, we had done a one-shot before. But the first campaign that we did in this setting was one in which Greg here played a character called Leff the Neckbreaker. It was actually his second after his first character had died. And this character went on to become very famous, eventually becoming Lord Diplomat, one of the most important members of the Council of Thermocath, serving under the king.
big old eldritch knight with a two-handed flail. He's very slow aging and has killed a lot of dragons.
Oh, yeah.
And he messed up Failface Day.
Yeah, he messed up a
Only
lot of people's
killed
days.
2 dragons.
Oh,
no,
he
he
killed
killed
more
like
than that.
10 or 12.
He killed a
Did he
bunch of
really?
dragons.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and
And then in the
Rogier
follow-up.
did a couple solo sessions, yeah.
Liberated a continent. Yeah, you know.
Whatever. I would have, but I got killed.
Same.
Yeah, they weren't gonna let you. Oh.
Well, I fought your father.
That's true.
Oh, right.
And,
My father
hey, we
won.
might be fighting your brother pretty soon.
Hey!
Yeah, I fought your
But
father.
wielding you.
Just using illusions. That was pretty
And
funny.
then a punch.
And then I crit him in the face.
All right.
Alright, guys, well,
So,
as the
sorry.
neckbreaker arrives, he says, well, don't worry about this, we'll handle cleanup. And he takes a book off the shelf and he starts looking through it. He says, some very interesting things in here. Things I've not seen. We can share. And he tosses a book to you.
As I've seen a few of these across the sea.
I would love to take it with you.
Alright, cool. He says, well, get yourselves cleaned up. I saw a bath down the hall. And whenever you're ready, meet us in the courtyard. We'd like to thank you.
Mate, I'd love to thank you for saving us.
He says, I did nothing. It was all my pal Grim right here. And he shakes your hand. And he says, well then, I'll be seeing you soon. The king awaits. And he starts heading down the stairs. And with that, we will call tonight's session there. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, that post on Facebook for episode 15 for your chance to win the Radiant Wildfire red metal dice over here.
That's the
Yeah, I
one.
don't care about that. Open it.
Oh, is that what you want to see? You want to see the dice?
Oh, the dice
Not
themselves.
the box.
Wait, we're not giving away the box?
No, it's the dice.
What? Just kidding. We're giving away the dice and the
All right.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
thanks for
Thanks
tuning
for
in.
watching.
Thank you so much to Pretzelbed, aka Judson, for donating $5
You're the
on
man.
our Patreon.
Who needs
And
online
Tyler.
And Tyler for using his reroll.
To save Sam's life of all
Yeah.
things.
Save
What
my
a
life.
quality fellow. May your dice be ever.